Hi, I'm Crystal,
I'm Jessica.
I'm Steven.
and we are.
Thankful. With it being Thanksgiving today, we wanted to make a new video and introduce ourselves all together, all three of us, and sort of go from there, just to talk about things with you guys.
We want to make sure that y'all understand what the house means to us and let you know, it is Thanksgiving, so we want to talk about what we're thankful for.
You want me to go first?
Go for it.
Okay. All right. I am thankful for this home because it has helped to heal me in a way I can't quite explain. Living with my best friend. No judgment in our house. And so that is very important to me for my kids. I am now a mother of multiple children instead of just one. And I've learned that I have strengths with that I didn't know that I had. And I am most thankful for my best friend and for opening her home to me and my family, and that we have all become one big family.
Whew, I didn't expect that one. um, this Thanksgiving has been kind of hard. It is our first without Grandpa in this home, without him being by our side. Um, and that's a hard pill to swallow. That a year ago we had him, and this year we have his memories, we have his legacy, we have this house, um, and we are praying that we can hold on to this house. And that's why I'm thankful to all of you for sharing and for getting our story out there and for helping us, um, for the prayers and for the kind words that we've had. That it means so much to know that there are people out there who care, and people who, even if they don't have it to donate, they're still reaching out, and they're sending their love and asking if there's other things that they can do to help. And to that, all I can say really is keep sharing. Share our page, share our GoFundMe, um,
Our
send it,
videos.
share our videos. Just keep it out there and keep it relevant, so that hopefully
It's going to hit the right person.
the right person will see it and the right person will help us save this house. Um, this house is my home. We bought this house in 2017. Um, and when we bought it, we went to an attorney and we thought we had done all the right things to make sure that it was safe, and that, when the time came for Grandpa to pass, that we would have this house, that me and my kids would have a home and we wouldn't have to worry. And the thought of losing it, it terrifies me in a way that I can't explain. Because it's not just losing the home, it's losing a part of Grandpa. It's losing.
I think for Grandpa, it was the one thing in his life that he felt that he did right.
Yeah, it was the one thing that he truly believed nobody could take.
And you helped him in a way throughout his last few years that nobody else would, nobody else could the way you did. And this is how he wanted to repay you, to make sure that you and your girls had a home, no mortgage, nothing to worry about. You could focus on being a mom without all of this going on in your head in the background,
And
worrying like this.
that's what makes it so hard, is you think you've done it right, and you go to an attorney and you take care of the will and everything is set, and then you get hit with something like this that you had no way of knowing was coming.
And that's the thing. We knew that there'd be bills when he passed. Um, but with there not being any life insurance, and that's a hard thing. The fact that this, if we could make payments on this, they if they would take payments,
Or a
let's
settlement,
back that
or
out. If they would take a settlement, or if they would take a monthly payment until it's paid off, that's not the end of the world. It's the fact that Medicaid wants their money up front 8 months ago, and what I with COVID, nobody has that to swing. It's ridiculous, and it puts everything that we have
in jeopardy.
in jeopardy
Or in jeopardy of losing the home
for a loophole.
for a loophole. For something that, we thought even when we first got the letter that it wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah.
You just make some calls and you take care of it. And it's not that easy. You talk with attorneys and you talk with the courts and you do what you got to do, just to be told, no, it has to be paid. All of it has to be paid, or we take the house.
There's, like I said, it's fine if you pay $100 a month and then you default on it. That's one thing, but
That's
not the
not how it
situation we
works.
found ourselves in.
Not even being given that opportunity to try and work it out. It's, here's your bill, pay it now.
So if we could ask, not just sharing, but if you feel this is laid on you to write your congressman, let's see if we can change the Medicaid laws so
Yes.
that there's no loophole. This bill is for personal care services received like 12 years ago, before we even knew him. And it's something nobody saw coming. So like I said, if you wanted to write your congressman, anything that you could think of to help, just
And
so
not
somebody else
just-
doesn't have to go through
Not, yeah, and that's the thing. It's not just to help us. It's to help other people that could possibly be put in this situation, because you don't know. When you think you have everything settled and you think your estates are in order, and then you think that you're taking care of your family when you're gone, and then your family gets a bill for an astronomical amount of money that they have no way of paying. And when you try to work something out and you call and you talk with the people through Medicaid, I mean, that was awful. It was a simple, get an attorney. Okay, well, we did that, and we got the same answer from the attorney, has to be paid. So you call back and you try to maybe work out a settlement, or, is there any way that we could do payments or something? And it was matter of fact, no, put your house on the market. Sell your house.
because that was his asset.
That was his only asset. All he had was this house and this family. And when we first moved in here, it was me and my 2 kids and Grandpa. And now there are me and my kids, Jessica and Steven and their kids, and that was,
And a dog,
and
5
a dog.
cats, and 3 turtles, might I add.
But it was a family decision that Grandpa and I made to bring them in, without even a thought. It wasn't really even it wasn't really a conversation. It was just, hey, Grandpa, Jessica needs somewhere to stay. What you think if she stays with us?
And he looked at me and said, as long as I have a home, so do you.
And it was the same situation with Steven
Yeah.
and the kids. Jessica and Steven were trying really hard to find somewhere
Local to rent.
And due to circumstances beyond their control, due to the housing shortage because of the hurricanes,
The number of kids we have.
the number of kids that they have, it was circumstances that you don't really think about.
It's hard to find a room.
This area is still suffering from Florence, and there are still a lot of families who are in similar boats that we're in, where it's families staying with families. So when they couldn't find something, it wasn't a second thought for me. Um, it was just, hey Jessica, let's move Steven and the kids in. They need us.
And I thought she was crazy, for the record. It's a lot of people
Steven
in this
thought so,
house.
too.
He did too. That took an adjustment period. But when we had the conversation with Grandpa, the fact that there are a lot of kids, he said the more the merrier. He had no problem. He had more grandbabies to love. And I find that amazing.
It really, I thought when I asked them to move in that it was because they needed me to. I thought that it was because they needed the help, and I had it to give. Grandpa and I, it's not a big home. It's 3 bedrooms and it's 2 bath. So it's not big, but it didn't occur to me that there was a higher power involved in that, and that moving them in was not, it was not me helping them as much as it was going to be them helping me and them holding me up when I lost Grandpa. Unexpectedly. It was.
So Christmas Eve's going to be hard this year.
It's going to be hard. Holidays, not
holidays,
having him.
Yes.
Christmas was his last holiday with us, so that's going to take a toll on these
That's what I
kids,
mean.
and that's okay.
Hard. Yeah.
It's okay to show the emotion of it. Yes. It's okay for these kids to not be okay for a time because they have 3 parents.
No, I was thinking Christmas Eve because he always gives them stuffed animal.
And this year it will be
and that is their favorite toy that they have held on to all year long.
Yeah. So this year, with him not being here, we are actually making pillows that will be their grandpa pillows, and we're making it out of his shirts, and all the kids will have one. And not just the kids in this house, but my nieces and nephews as well. All of all of his grandkids, all of the ones that, he never thought twice about them being his grandkids. He was the kind of man who took you in, and once you were in your family, that's it. You're his family, and that said a lot about who he was.
For me, from what I know, my personal experiences with Grandpa is I don't know a lot about his past. I don't think that his blood family, I don't really know how to word this, but when you don't have blood family and you find yourself close to someone else, that person becomes family blood or not. And I think that's why he loved all the grandkids in his lap and loved to have love and laughter and people around him. I think that's why it meant so much to him. And that's what hurts the most about this house is he helped us come together as an unconventional family that I can't see myself without you two, without 3 parents in a house, without all 7 kids. It's complete chaos, but especially with this at-home learning. But it works, and they have bonded, and it's blossomed, yes. And it's not something that's would have been doable if
without Grandpa
in the situation we found ourselves in. Yeah. How about your kids?
Oh.
So our 3 middle kids.
The 3 middle kids, yes. Well, let's see. Before we got here, without the help that I've received from both of them, I mean, school was lacking. That's one of the best ways I can think of to put it. They were struggling just about everywhere. I'm not going to say I didn't take part of that. Last half of the school year before we moved in was hectic, to say the least.
Well, you were suddenly a single parent.
Yes, the last half of the school year, I was suddenly a single parent who still worked 40 hours a week.
At least.
And yeah, then upon moving in here, that burden was not lifted off of me, but it was assisted. It didn't feel that I was going about life alone. Because even before I met Jessica, I was in dark places. As were the kids. There were many nights that I sat up with one of them as they cried all night long. There's no way to explain how having people to support you is needed in times like that.
And that's the important thing is that we support each other. The three of us help lift each other up and keep each other balanced in a way that I didn't realize we needed.
Yes.
We talk each other down on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, 7 kids is a lot. And sometimes it gets a bit hectic and we might need to put ourselves in a timeout. And sometimes we may not recognize we need the timeout. And having the other parents, that helps us to recognize those situations where we might need to take a step back so that we don't unintentionally say something that hurts feelings.
Sure.
Because these kids have been through enough. They've had enough hurt feelings and letdowns in their lives. And they need to know that there's somebody in their corner. They need to know that there are people who love them and who aren't going anywhere.
And they don't call us aunts. We're bonus moms.
Yeah.
We're dad and bonus moms.
So,
yes. Yeah. And they,
they're amazing.
They are.
They're truly amazing.
And they also now know that they have parents who will not leave them.
Yes.
That is one of the most important things that we 3 have been able to give these kids.
And some of these children need to know that.
Yes.
And they've tested us.
Yeah.
And we hug them anyway. And
at the end of the night, tomorrow's a new day.
Yes. Absolutely. We're not perfect, but we love hard. And it's hard to do if you're not together. And grieving on top of all of this has made it very difficult to be the strong face for the children when you can't sleep because you're worried about the mental health of all the kids, ourselves.
Yes.
Just because them being out of school has been tough on them. Everybody's going through a tough time. And and then helping heal all of them and learn coping skills has given us a run for our money, that's for sure.
But we wouldn't trade it.
Absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
Not for a thing.
This is
why it's so important to help us.
It is. This may not be a traditional family. This may not be what most people think of as a traditional family, but it's our family. It's our life. It's our story. And we feel led to share that with the world.
And our kids are our everything. I cannot imagine separating these kids. So
No.
as we said, there's 3 adults, 7 kids, a dog, 5 cats, 3 turtles that we found in March in the yard the day they hatched. It's not that if we lose this house, we couldn't find somewhere to rent. 3 can go their way, 7 can go their way. It's the fact that we cannot separate these kids.
These kids need each other. They rely on each other. They have dealt with traumas and emotional things that are beyond what any child should have to go through, on top of they've all dealt with bullying. And having siblings now, for some of them, having somebody who has their back in school even has been tremendous for them, because they ride the bus home, and when they get home they have each other's backs.
They crawl into bed with each other.
If
When
one
they have
has a
nightmares.
nightmare, they'll come to us if they need us, but they soothe each other. And that's a big deal, to be able to know that when you go to bed and you lay your head down at night, I mean, you know that if your kids get scared in the middle of the night, they can come to you. But the fact that they can go to each other, it lets them be more independent, more self-reliant.
Sure.
And it teaches them the importance of caring for each other.
Oh. Yeah. So, it's Thanksgiving. We are thankful for everyone who has taken the time to read our story, share our story,
Like our page.
donate to our GoFundMe.
Yes.
We've had 2 donations so far, and we very, very, very much appreciate it. We are thankful for everything, especially this in the last day and a half.
Yeah.
We hope it continues. If even just seeing this video helps somebody else, then it's all worth it to me, no matter what happens in the end.
It is. And this is new territory. Putting ourselves out there is really new territory.
Yes.
We tend to be private people, kind of keep to ourselves, but it's time. It's time that we reach out and we put ourselves out there on a platform we've never done.
Yeah. I mean, we're solitary to the point that we live at the back of a cornfield.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
So our joke is that we actually have the children of the corn.
Yeah.
But no, really, thank you from the bottom of our hearts, for listening, for keeping up with our story. We will be posting more videos.
Yes.
We
just to follow our journey, if you'd like.
Yes, and to keep everyone apprised of the situation as it develops. As I said in an earlier video, this is a season of uncertainty for us, but we will get through this. And as long as we have each other, and our kids have each other, we can get through anything.
Yes. And one thing we were even discussing today, to go beyond us, is no matter how this goes, we have talked about the fact that we want to continue going forth so others don't end up in a very similar situation.
Correct.
So our story, our final ending to this particular chapter is irrelevant. We'd love to save this house. We really do.
We don't want to lose our home. We don't want to lose Grandpa's legacy. But we also don't know where we're supposed to be.
Sure.
And that is not in our hands. That is up to a higher power.
Because you can make all the right choices that you think are right choices, and do everything that you think you're supposed to do and line it all up. And at the end of the day, it's
a 3 words on one piece of paper.
Yeah.
Can completely destroy it.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time tonight. Thank you for sharing our video and liking our page. Please, please, please continue to share. If you feel led to donate, please do so. And pray for us. Pray for us. We need that. Um, we really need that. And not just for this, but for the grief as well. Because we still deal with that on a daily basis. That
And
is not getting any easier with 7 kids. And they all have their moments. And some days are just harder than others, but
today was a hard day for some of them.
today was a very hard day for some not having Grandpa here. Some tears were shed. Lots of hugs were given.
Questions were asked.
Questions were asked. Questions that are hard to answer because you don't quite know the answer. But
They
thank
also
you.
had fun.
They did. They had a great day, and they are all sleeping well, which is why we are outside.
Yes.
So as not to wake any
Quietly.
of our 7 sleeping
The
beauties.
beast. Can't wake the beast.
So no, thank you for listening to us, and we will let y'all have a good night.
Good night. Thank you.